Good morning, everybody. Who's joined me this morning? Welcome. Hi, Dawn. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Hi, Silvana. Hi, Anne. Lisa. Welcome, Jess. And good morning. Is your friend with you this morning as well, Jess? It's Lisa, I think, isn't it? Hi, Jess. Hi, Lisa. Fiona. Okay, so Lisa and Jess. These are you guys are the two mates, yeah? I'm pretty sure that's right. Hi, Dundee. For some reason your name's showing up twice. Hi, Karen. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Vera. Hi, Juliet. Excellent, Jess. Good work. Excellent. I'm glad you could join today. I know last week was going to be a challenge for you, but it turned out it didn't go ahead anyway. And I'll give you some background to that. So we're moving, as you know. We moved, and then we arrived at our house, and we were there for a few days, and we had to clear some rubble in the backyard, and we organised a skip, and the skip was supposed to turn up at 11 o'clock last Friday morning. While I was out here, standing here, ready to go, at 7 o'clock last Friday morning, the skip turned up, and my husband flew into a panic because I had the key to the car that needed to be moved. So I had to drop everything and rush home. So that was a bit of a drama. So welcome, everybody. We're standing in a state conservation area near Newcastle. Who else has just joined? Ellen. Hi, Nina. Hi, Catherine. Connie, Carla, Lisa, and hey, Virginia. Thanks for coming along. So this is our starting point. You may have also noticed a few bikes go by while we've been standing here. And we're going to, hopefully they're not going to disrupt this session this morning. It is a shared path, and there are cyclists that use this path, but they like to get off the trail and out down into the minor forest tracks. So hopefully we won't see too many of them. Hi, Cecilia. All right, so we've got just under 3 minutes before we start. And let's see. Hi, Jeannie. Oh, Jess, that's wonderful. I hope I meet your expectations. Hi, Susan. Hi, Karen. And thanks for the follow, Cecilia. And if there's anyone else for whom this is your first tour and you like what you see, please follow and you'll get notifications of any new tours or any notices that I need to send out for whatever reason. All right, so I might start slowly walking towards where we're actually going to physically start from. We need to walk up a little bit of an incline here. The rest of the track should be fairly flat. And it's a little bit windy this morning, so I hope that the wind isn't causing a problem across the mic. Thanks for the follow, Juliet. Oh, Susan, excellent. Lovely to see you, and I hope you enjoy the tour. Karen, hi, Fliss. Fliss is a local, a Novocastrian, but hasn't lived here for a long time. So, Fliss, where we are, and look up the map, we're in the Glenrock State Conservation Area, and it's just above, I think it's Dudley Beach at this point, to the south of Merriweather. So we'll give more of an explanation as we tick over start time. But let me know if this is your first time doing forest bathing. Dudley Beach is really pretty, Fliss. We went down there a couple of weeks ago, had a look at it. It doesn't appear to be a patrolled beach, but it's quite spectacular. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Christina. Hi, Kirsty. And who's just joined? First time, Lisa. Excellent. So it rained about an hour ago. And actually, we're standing at this point here where we can just see the flags on the right where they're doing some trail repair. There was a spectacular rainbow about 15 minutes ago. But I'm glad to say that's gone because it was sprinkling as well. And the last thing you want, holding a gimbal and a mobile phone, is rain and sprinkling. Hi, Amy. Lovely fluffy clouds. They are. They're beautiful. Okay, so Someone I think said it's your first time doing forest bathing. That was Lisa. Okay. Yeah, hi Kirsty. Hi Penny. So basically what forest bathing is, and we'll go over this again as I tick over start time, it's basically a kind of a cross between a meditation and mindfulness, but getting out into nature. So let's just wait for the clock to tick over. I'll turn the camera around, introduce myself. I'll describe what basically you can expect during this tour, and then we'll start properly. So we are going to actually see a few joggers, walkers, and cyclists today. This is it's Saturday morning, and it's also a popular area for recreation. So hopefully they're not going to cause too much disruption. I'm sure they won't. So there's a trail here that's actually being repaired right now. All right, so I can see the clock's just tipped over. Hi, Jane. Hi, Joanna. And good morning, Mum and Dad. Let's turn the camera around. So good morning, everybody. Mum, you're seeing my haircut for the first time. I'm sure you're sitting there cheering in your lounge room. Mum's been trying to get me to have a haircut for a little while now. So for anyone who hasn't met me before, my name's Lynn, and formerly your Sydney and Blue Mountains guide, currently your Newcastle guide, and moving forward, all parts, New South Wales. I'll tell you a little bit more about that at the end of this tour. Before we begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we're meeting today on the traditional lands of the Awabakal people and pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. All right, so let's turn the camera around and let's get started. Oh, thank you, everybody, for all the lovely compliments. And let me just acknowledge who else has joined. Deborah, welcome. Colleen, welcome. Kathy, Kim, April and Justin. Thank you, Mum. All right. So basically what we're doing this morning is what's known as forest bathing. In Japanese, it's called Shinrin-yoku. And it came about in the 1980s as an answer or as a remedy, I guess, to an antidote, perhaps, to the technology that was arising at that time. So it was recognized that all of a sudden there are a lot of people working in tech-heavy industries, constantly in front of technology, and this was a recognition that getting out into nature and really slowing down, and that's what we're going to attempt to do today, is really slow down, is actually beneficial for your health. Now, we all know that getting out into nature is beneficial. This goes a step further. So what I invite you to do, I will conduct this in the first person, which feels strange to me, and I hope it doesn't feel strange to you. I've only done this tour twice before, and I'm still getting accustomed to it myself. So I invite you to enjoy this experience through my description of the experience. I would ask you to open your eyes and try to be aware with all your senses, if at all possible. So I will describe how I physically feel. I will describe what I see, what I smell, and what I touch. And I invite you to try and imagine that experience through my description. So that's basically it. I'm going to try and get this shadow out of the way as well, because that is a little distracting. I'm not sure exactly. We'll point this way. I think the shadow is distracting. So let's begin. So my first conscious decision is to slow down as much as possible, to really slow down, be aware firstly of my physicality. I can feel the stones through the soles of my shoes, and I'm conscious of the crunching sound that makes as I walk. From this point on, I won't acknowledge the chat. So again, I invite you to be part of my experience, but I won't acknowledge the chat. So I welcome everyone who's joining, but from here on until I finish, I won't actually be participating in the chat. I can feel a slight breeze on my forehead, and I can feel the sun on the back of my neck, slightly warming my skin. And I pause to listen to the sounds of the birds. I hear faintly in the distance the sound of the ocean. As I continue, another bird on my right, a call I don't recognise. I notice the early morning sun highlighting the foliage in front of me. And up ahead, I begin to notice the darkness of the forest that we're approaching. Different colours emerge on my right. Dead leaves actually appear to present a contrast colour against the green of the forest. I consciously take note of my breathing. I deliberately slow it down to match the pace of my walking. I'm aware of someone approaching from behind, a cyclist, and pause to let them pass. As my eyes adjust for the path ahead, it gradually becomes visible. A winding trail heading off through the forest. I notice out of the corner of my eye flowers, beautiful white flowers, and get down close to take a look. Closer look at these flowers. I'm not close enough to detect if there's a scent. The sun begins to highlight the trunks of the trees ahead, presenting a glow. The mysterious S shape of the trail, inviting me to approach it. The wind has picked up. It's cool now on my face. I pause to listen to the insects. Cicadas, possibly. A different sound. The shapes of the trees are intriguing, twisting from left and right in different colours, dark browns, pale colours. Again, I take note of my breathing. I'm attracted to this first tree on my right. As the wind picks up, a faint aroma of eucalyptus, ever so faint, or maybe it's my imagination. No, it's there. I want to touch this tree. The colour, the smoothness, it appears smooth. I want to get close and touch it. My path is obstructed, so we'll continue on. There'll be more trees. The smell of timber grows stronger. I'm intrigued by the shapes of the leaves of this monstera. Surely it doesn't belong here. And now I've become aware of the increasing volume of the bellbirds. Another tree presents itself, but again, a little precarious. The colours are just so incredibly green and almost purple. I'm presented with a beautiful tree that I can touch. I can get up close. I can really inspect the shapes of the bark and feel the texture. Again, aware that I'm sharing the path, sharing the trail this morning with other people. We let them pass. Something catches my eye high up in the trees. A termite nest. Presenting unusual shapes against the sky. And all the while, we're accompanied by the sounds of the bellbirds. The trunks of the trees up ahead are veritably glowing from the early morning sun. To my right, a large swathe of ferns, and in amongst it, more pretty flowers. We have no opinion on whether they belong in this forest or whether they are intruders. This morning we just observe the beauty of nature. Another termite mound high up in the tree. And those shapes, those twisting branches reaching out. Once again, I take stock of my breathing, slow it down to match my pace of walking. I'm vaguely aware of the sound of a plane in the sky above. It will pass. I pause to listen to the bellbirds. They create the music of the forest, accompanied by the backing track of the insects. Another bird joins the chorus. I don't recognise it. A new tree captures my attention. This one almost red. I stepped on a branch, paused to ensure that my footing was firm. I reach a point in the forest where all the trees are red. I want to get closer, observe the colour, and look up. Let's look up. I want to look up at the sky. We're joined by people from both directions all of a sudden. Cyclists and walkers.
Morning.
Good morning. All enjoying the forest.
So, it's not that much.
I try to tune out to the conversation specifics.
Exactly right.
Go slow.
Yep.
You're there for longer.
Yep. Exactly. The context of work, right?
My attention is drawn to this tree. It invites me to touch it. So smooth, so cool. Small trails lead off in both directions, to the left and right of the track.
There's done a bit of work to it because it didn't used to be. You didn't have to drive like that at the start. Okay. It used to be a bit more flowy. I'm glad you enjoying the driving. Yeah.
I want to explore. I feel drawn towards this small track off to the left, inviting me, drawing me in. I decide to go in a little way. I feel the green closing in around me. The track falls away, down into the forest. It's struck suddenly by rays of sunshine. I decide to rejoin the main path. We continue on. As the forest lightens, as the sun rises slightly higher in the sky, each tree different, each shape different, a different colour, a different size, a different shape. And the sounds of the bellbirds seem to grow fainter. I hear a whip bird. And another. And now the lorikeets come in. I pause again to look at the forest, to take it in, to look around.
That's three. Yeah. And then we call the next one 2. And I think 3 is probably the toughest trail. The most challenging trail. Morning.
Morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. And discover another beautiful tree. This one in its last living moments, showing its colour just before death. Holding on with just a few leaves right at the very top of its branches. Again, the green, the ferns, grasses.
Oh, there's the break.
I inhale the forest. Faint eucalyptus scent. So very faint, but so very present. I detect tiny birds. Just a movement. Too small to focus on. And suddenly there are lorikeets again. I pause because I detect movement. Movement in the grass. A tiny bird, too small to focus on again. Just moving around. I think it might be a fairy wren. But too quick, too small and too quick. All right. I'm going to finish the forest bathing part, we're coming up to a crossroad up here. And in answer to that question, Mum, thank you for answering it. That, yes, the blue flower was a morning glory. There was also another white flower we saw earlier on the trail, which is also considered a weed. Some kind of lily. I can't remember what sort of lily it is. But I was identifying the things that I knew, but really observing. Here's some more of this morning glory over here. It is definitely a weed. It takes over the forest. So we're standing under high voltage power lines at this point. All right, so tell me, I know for some of you that was a little unusual, a little different. It may have taken you a little out of your comfort zone. Tell me if you enjoyed it. I know that the signal dipped quite badly at one point. I don't think I'll come back to this forest again because the signal was very unreliable. But there's your beautiful morning glory. It is a gorgeous flower, and it is a big problem here in Australia. It chokes out our native vegetation. And this is one of those white flowers that hasn't opened yet, or maybe it's finished. I'm not sure, one or the other. That's what that plant looks like without flowers. So as I said, I wasn't engaging in chat during the actual session, if you want to call it that, part of the tour. Let me go back and see if I can address some of the beautiful weed grows everywhere here in New England. I do think the seeds are toxic. It has been annual flower pots. Look, if you can contain them and not let them go wild in the bush, they're probably fine, but unfortunately they do tend to get away from you, and certainly here. You're so relaxed. Oh, that's excellent, Julie. I'm glad. Especially if you're in a part of the world where it's almost bedtime. That's wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. Slowly mesmerising. Yeah, Karen, I guess that's the aim. That's the aim of this tour, is that we make ourselves slow down. But I don't tell you what to do. I simply invite you to do what you feel is the best response for you through my experience. Thank you, Jess. The reception wasn't bad enough to spoil. Oh, I'm so glad. I thought I saw it cut out completely at one point, and I just thought, oh no. There's a couple of little small birds here, and I don't know if we're going to actually be lucky enough to see them, just flitting around. And I think they might be, are they firetail finches perhaps? Oh, what a pity they're so quick. Let me see, I'm just catching up with people's comments. And I deliberately choose, I know there are other guides that use music on their forest walks. I deliberately choose not to. In my opinion, getting out into a place like this, the birds are the music. The sound of the forest is the music. I don't need any other kind of music. This might give you an indication of exactly what happens when morning glory goes wild. It's really sort of choking this area here, overtaking everything else, really dominating the landscape here. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a bit of a nuisance. You love the present tense, the immediacy befitting the title, really wonderfully progressive and observant at the same time. Thanks very much. I found the style lovely and meaningful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ruth. Lovely. Thank you, Connie. Thanks, Jackie. Your daughter brought lantana and thought we could plant it in the garden. Not. Yeah, we have a different relationship with lantana, don't we, Fleece? lantana, privet, morning glory, agapanthus even. Agapanthus. Oh, that was a beautiful whipbird call. Did you hear it? I know I was talking at the time. Privet, agapanthus, gorse. Gorse is one. All these plants that have been brought into Australia, and you can see again. So did you hear the two calls then? That's the whipbird. It's actually two distinct calls. You get the long one, which is apparently the male, and then the little short double sound at the end is apparently the female response. Only for a second. That was it again. Different experience. I love both versions. Thanks for a lovely walk. Kamuchi, welcome. I'm actually still on my way back to where I parked the car, so I'm going to keep the tour going because we've reached another part of the forest which is actually quite lovely. I'm not sure how I felt about so much bike and walking traffic this morning. There was a lot more than I was expecting. I was expecting there to be some, but there was heaps of them. But, you know, the forest is here to be shared. There's another termite mound in the fork of that tree there. Quite a big one. I can hear a wonga pigeon now, I think. I think that's what it is. Thank you, Ruth. Here's some more of this morning glory. Again, just really dominating. Thank you, Fliss. Yeah, agapanthus is... a lot of people have it in their gardens here, but in the Blue Mountains in particular, it's a real problem. It spreads readily, and again, it chokes waterways. So it chokes out native plants, which our native wildlife rely on. So, you know, it's not just a problem of plants, it becomes a whole environmental problem. Where are we? You don't mind the traffic, Ruth? Yeah, it is what it is. Thank you, Fiona. And MM just joined. Welcome. So we are almost at the end of the tour. Certainly the forest bathing part of it, where I invited voyagers to enjoy the forest through my personal experience, as I slowly narrated, I guess, my experience. Now we're just walking back to my car. There's one beautiful tree right at the end I'm going to show you too. Oh, thank you, Fliss. Maybe try and get along to my Ties Hill tour a little later this morning. I know we had a little chat about it. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, there's one last beautiful big, I think it's called an Eastern red gum, forest red gum, coming up on my right, which is a real beauty. So I think we might finish up there. And yeah, I know life gets busy, Fliss, and I know that you will be there if you can, given your connection to the area. Thank you, Karen. Hi, Roma. Hi, Dolzy. Oh, I think I saw Dunia. Was it Dunia join earlier? What time is it? It is, let me think, I think it's 8:10 a.m. Oh, I'm feeling a bit puffed. There's another termite mound in that tree just there. Let's see if I can get it. Just up there. Hi, Deborah. Yeah, great way to start the weekend. Absolutely. Oh, magpies. The magpies finally joined in right at the end. Hang on, just let me look up at this one. This isn't the tree I was talking about, but let me just look up at it because it's a real beauty. There we go. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday night over your way, Julie May. This is the tree that I had in mind, just coming up on the right. My car's parked up there, just past the gate. Is my little car. So we'll just let these people pass. I'll show you this absolutely gorgeous gum tree.
Chris and I about the same. Yeah, well, we're all similar.
Bit of a group. Now check this out. Have a look at this. It's a bit of a forest elder, this one, I think. Just gorgeous. Hi, Robin Ann. All right, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to stand next to this guy. Stand right next to it. Let me see if I can get up here. Okay. All right. Okay, well that's over here. Here we go. There. Let me hug this tree. Because it's so pretty. It's so inviting. Thanks for joining, everyone. I've really enjoyed your company this morning. Here, look, let's look up. Let's see if we can look up. I'm not very good at getting these interesting. Maybe like that. There we go. How's that? All right. So thanks for joining my tour this morning, everyone. I really enjoyed your company. What have we got? Later on this morning, in a couple of hours, I'm heading up to, actually it's less than 2 hours, about an hour and a half, heading up to an area of Newcastle called Ties Hill. Loads of cyclists coming along here now. And I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to try and figure out how to get down from here. I might have to go this way. Thanks, Joanna. I've got to figure out how to get down from here now. I think we've found the forest peak hour traffic. Yeah, this way looks okay. Sorry, everyone. I'll be right with you. Okay, there we are. We're down. All right, so thanks everyone again for joining me. I've really enjoyed your company. It was beautiful out there in the forest. It is a different kind of tour. I understand that. It's not for everybody. And I will do them again from time to time. I'm going to try and find a spot on our road trip that I might be able to do it from. We'll just have to see how that goes. But I'll be heading out next week for about 3 weeks out into, it's not Western New South Wales, it's kind of like the inland road up through Tamworth. I'm looking for some of those big art silos, the big silos. Thanks, Joanne. Oh, Joanna, sorry, Joanna, thank you. It's a bit sort of bouncy, isn't it? I'm feeling a little bit, what's the term? Glowing at the moment. It's quite humid here this morning. And yeah, so we're going up for about 3 weeks. We're going to head towards Brisbane, try and catch up with a friend of mine on the Sunshine Coast. So I'm going to try and get to Mooloolaba. And then after that, we're going to head down the coast road and back down through, Kyogle, and then out to Port Macquarie. So keep an eye out for that because I'm still researching, still trying to figure out where we should stop and what I should look out for and what tours I might be able to do along the way. Alrighty, let's turn this camera around and sign off by having one last quick look back towards the forest. There we go. That's where we came from. So if you've got any nice postcards, love to see them. Share them on HGO Voyages group. Hi Sam, I'm so sorry that I'm just finishing. That's where we did the forest bathing walk this morning. Okay, I'll see you hopefully later today. Otherwise tomorrow I'm heading down to Sydney for that light show experience. And that's going to be really interesting. Okay, thanks everyone. Bye for now.